Hey, how's it going?
What's
Hey,
good, homie? What's
all
good?
right. So I'm gonna give a little bit of an intro of the podcast, and then we can get started.
Tight,
Uh,
tight, tight, tight.
so welcome to the Asterysk podcast. This is episode number 6, and today in this podcast we interview really cool people who really specialize in whatever they're really passionate about. And today we have a very special guest, Ethan Turner.
また夜が明ければお別れ夢は遠き幻にあなたを追いかけていた光の中で抱かれるたび暖かい風を頼り春を告げ踊り出 sunshine 夏を目じ野原から草川秋の月登ったまま
Please introduce yourself.
What's good? What's good, guys? My name's Ethan Turner. I'm a tricker. I'm from Maryland, or super originally from Connecticut, but I grew up in Maryland, and I now live in Colorado. I've been out here for like a year, but yeah, I've been tricking for like 6 years. We're doing good things.
For sure. You guys have like half the world's snatch cannon people
Yeah,
over there.
Colorado is literally ridiculous because I think we have like 4 snatch cannons right now. It's like me, Court, Chris, and James.
Yeah. All right,
Golden
so
State.
how do you explain tricking to the average person?
My favorite explanation of tricking is so to quote Ben Harrell, tricking is like parkour without the rollerblades. It's like literally whatever you want it to be, right? But like obviously like descends from like extreme martial arts, and then we have like elements from capoeira, breakdancing, all sorts of like crazy tumbling gymnastics, acrobatic elements that we've just taken and put into combos and put into variations and tricks. So tricking is really whatever you want it to be for the most part, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
So
there's
how
no
long have you
right
been
way to do a cheat nine as long as it follows like the super basic guidelines of like the rotation and then like yeah. You can do the
yeah,
round
yeah.
in like different ways, but yeah, what were you gonna say?
So we're gonna segment into how long you've been tricking for and tell us about your entire journey and movement in general.
For sure, for sure. So I've been tricking for 6 years now. I started in like 2014. But before that, I used to do Taekwondo. I'm black belt in Taekwondo, so I did that for a couple of years. I was on a tumbling and trampoline team for a while, and I did parkour and free for like 2 years before I started tricking. And I actually like so I did all of this in Georgia. I was like I living in Georgia for like 5 years, and then that's where I started parkour. And I met these guys like JB and Connor Ewart. I was like training with them and David Baldwin as well. And they introduced me to tricking as well. And I went to Rebel Throwdown in 2014
Oh
in the
yeah.
Tabernacle in Atlanta, and I just witnessed some crazy shit. And that was like my first real introduction to like a tricking event. And the first real tricker I ever met was Adam Davenport in the same summer, 2014, at Woodward. He was my cabin counselor, funny enough.
Dang. That's so cool.
It was tight. Yeah.
So do you have any hobbies outside of tricking that you put a lot of effort into as well?
I play a lot of kendama, and I like do just like photography and just like for fun. Let's see. I used to longboard a lot, and I think that actually helped my tricking like a lot. I would just like literally go out every day and just like go for miles and miles, and it made my calves just so yoked. But I'm like, yeah, I like making art in my free time and kind of just doing the things like going out, especially now that I'm out here in Colorado, like drive out to crazy like spots to go hiking and camping, which is always a fun time. The rock climbing scene here is huge as well, so I'd like to get more into that. But yeah, we're living.
Dude, Colorado has so many things, man. It's
Oh
so
my God, yeah.
beautiful.
It's crazy. Like you can drive like 3 hours south and you're in like sand dunes. You're like, the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Diversity
Uh,
is this.
very, yeah. That's a good way to describe it. So, in terms technically in tricking, what are some weaknesses that you feel like you have that you really want to work on?
Like two basic things that are always like in my mind. Like my rounds and specifically my swipes are always really early. Like whenever I do a cork snapu, it looks like a gainer scissor snapu. And that's like literally just because like habit, right? And I can occasionally just fix it and make it like a normal cork snapu and chamber and kick and everything, but like it's literally easier for my body at this point to just swipe early as fuck and then twist down. And so it happens like my full snapus and everything and it makes the kick like off target, in my opinion. It doesn't look as good. So I'm like, that's one thing I like to fix and just like I need to rework my rounds. That's all it is. And then also I'm really bad at Gumbies, dude, and I really like how hard Tiki is killing the Gumby game right now, and I would love to just like slay that game with him, but my Gumby sucks, so that's one thing we need to work on. My TDR is yoked, but Gumby needs some work.
It's crazy. Michael Guthrie, I think his first triple cork set was through Gumby, and
Yeah,
this is
crazy.
it's crazy.
It's efficient. It's a really good setup if you like know how to do it for sure. Like I think in my
Yeah.
TDR would get even better if I knew how to Gumby well, but right now that is not the case.
So, is there a specific trick or combo that you're trying to get consistent or to land?
The three big things on my mind right now are like, I would love to hit quad cork. I have to just do a bunch of quads. My ankles have been like feeling it, you know, like I'm getting pretty gassed. So I need to like let my minor injuries heal so I can like level up and get that quad cork. I would really like to do Shuriken. I tried it for the first time a couple sessions ago and it wasn't that bad. I just like did Shura Cutter and then like got to the proper rotation and then just fell over because I didn't want to like, you know, destroy my shit. But like, you know, that's like Shuriken, quad cork. I'd love to do trip. That would be like something I really like to do, and especially like from two setups. I'd like to do it from like triple full swing, triple cork, and triple cork swing, triple cork because I think I could definitely do that as well. So it's like also triple B. I'd love to do triple B. I'm like just because like if I can like rep this Cali game out and like do a lot more Cali rolls, especially like messing with the front swing Cali roll game, it's game over, bro. So we will see.
I love watching when you do triple corks. Like you really commit like all the way through. Like
You got to stand up
it's
so
so
hard. And I guess stand up even harder when we go to quad cork. Like if you look at like the chest positioning on like Tiki's, like Alexander's quad cork, it's just straight up.
yeah.
So good.
So was there a time in your career where you felt like your progression in tricking increased immensely due to like some weird reason, or did you feel like your progression was always consistent all the way through?
So there have definitely been points when my progression was like very hindered. And that was mostly just by injuries. Like it was never too much of like a mindset thing. Although there were definitely times when like, especially when I was living over in Maryland or over in Georgia. Well, not as much in Georgia because the gym was so close to my house. But there weren't as many trickers that I trained with in Georgia. So that was one thing. It was like mostly like solo sessions or just like sessions with like the occasional homies. And then in Maryland, like it'd be like, yo, like we go and I have to drive like an hour to go see like Kobe, Dima, and Tommy. Versus like I could also drive up north to go like an hour up to Baltimore. But it was like in my immediate area, I was like, fuck, I got a solo trainer, something like that. And it was like, but now that I'm out in Colorado, like the progression has been like I think infinitely like faster than when I was like living anywhere else, just because there's so many triggers here and the sessions are so frequent and so crazy that it's like you can't not level up, right? It's like a never-ending gathering. It's wild. So I think the one thing that definitely hindered my progression the most was like minor injuries and then training on those minor injuries so that they built into bigger injuries. And then I was like, all right, I gotta chill.
I was talking with Chris Cernerhouse, and he's like, the trickers are like the majority here because I used to trick with Chris back in Minnesota,
Tight.
and like the girls would just take the floor during open gyms, do the routines, and like we have to go this small little corner over here. But at Flipjack, or at Cat too, you guys like dominate the floor and have your own music too.
They literally like, especially Cats and Flipjack and Active, like I think there's like our three main gyms really. All of the sessions are run by triggers, and so like we have the whole like floor essentially rented out for the night for all like only triggers, and so we get the whole gym, we just like fucking throw down, and it's just a party until we are all too tired and we just fucking have to leave. Like there's no more tricks can possibly be done. That's when session's over. Not when like 8 to 10. Nah, it's 8 to pass the fuck out and then you leave. That is Colorado.
That's so cool, man.
It's tight.
So, let's talk about your samplers. Like, oh man, it's so freaking good. But before we talk about your samplers, let's talk about what's your top 3 samplers that you really enjoy watching.
Top 3 samplers I really enjoy watching. I mean, one of them is like always gonna be like Arcade Lions, just because like that's such like that sampler just makes me so happy, you know. Such a wholesome sampler, so many great just like tricker fucking ratchet moments, and then just like crazy tricks, of course. So that is always just gonna be like one of my favorite samplers because it's legendary. One of my favorite tricking edits was Snapu Swipe OG. Unfortunately, I think it's been taken down due to reasons, you know. But like that was just like literally one of the craziest edits of all time. Mad props again to Kirkor and everyone in that video that just threw down. Let's see. Rasmus Odd has some of my favorite samplers. Root, especially, is one of my favorite. Dude. So, do you know Pierre Vander A? I think I can find his Instagram and I'll like link it in here. He made 2 samplers, Tohu Bohu and Metanoia, and both of them are just fucking incredible. Just absolute works of art. This man has just like surpassed the tricking sampler game into just like creating just some fucking pieces of art. So I'll try and link those in here at some point throughout this video. But he makes some really crazy videos. Let's see who else. Literally any Mike Samp. I've watched all of his samplers so many times and studied all of that shit. So like mad props always, because that man just produces some textbook material for sure. I always love watching Eduardo Ruvalcaba's samplers. I think especially there's like a bunch of For the Culture edits of him, and Renato especially makes some of my favorite edits just because like, dude, that man knows what he's doing with a camera and a computer. Like there's one sampler called the fuck is it called? It's the super crazy data mosh edit. It's called mochi.avi. And it's just on the For the Culture channel, and it is literally the craziest fucking tricking edit. They're in a city, and he's just data moshing everything. It's ridiculous.
I had to see that one. I haven't seen that one before.
Like I can definitely, I'll get some links in here by the end of it for sure. But I'm like, yeah, those are some of my favorite samplers for sure. Let's see, Phil Gibbs has so many good samplers. Australia just did it well. You know, if you just look at any Australian tricking samplers, like yeah, it's a fucking good sampler. Douglas, Dougie with his confession tape sampler. It's fucking incredible. I really like that sampler. Dude, yeah, I could just go on about samplers. Fucking, I watch all the samplers. I don't know.
There's just a concept called Save Your Clips movement, and it's more relevant towards the parkour community. But how hard is it for you to save your clips when you hit like a mad combo or trick during your session?
It's so hard because like I had that front swing Cali roll and like the Snapu front, like that full Snapu semi front swing Snapu and like all these other clips that I was like super hyped to just fucking just unload on everyone so they could just fucking because I was hype about it, but I was like hyped to just like put them out there so people could see them. But I like had to sit on them for like 3-4 weeks or something while I was gathering more footage to make the rest of the Catharsis edit, because I wanted that to just be like every clip is just fucked and every clip just, you know, I wanted every clip to just be on that same like standard of like, I think this all is like, I haven't done any of these combos before, I don't think, or at least I haven't done this well, and I maybe added a new variation or a new stance change or something or new transition. And I thought like all of it was just fucking gas. I was like super hyped on it. I literally got back from the session at like 3 a.m, edited from 3 until like 6:30 a.m. And then I just like fucking had the video on my laptop unlisted. I like sent it to a couple friends that like knew I was like editing it like in the middle of the night, and I just sent it to them at 6 a.m. and passed the fuck out. Like then like the next day posted it and I was like, type, this came out way too well for editing it like in a couple hours in the middle of the night.
I like to edit videos too, and just like I can't sit on this. I just gotta do
Dude,
it. I can't do it tomorrow. I gotta do it right now.
like I'm sitting on a bunch of footage right now that like I still need like a couple more clips to, I think, finish the edit that I think are just fucked up. So like it's like I'm super hyped to post them, but then at the same time it's like I think I can do the clips more justice if I put it in a big old edit. So, you know, like I'm about that save the clips movement for sure.
So, in your own testimony, what would you want your samplers to represent, and what is your thought process of making one?
So I think I just want my samplers to represent like me, I guess, like whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm trying to put across in the video. Sometimes it's just this is just crazy tricks, and that's just the whole fucking feel of the video. Sometimes it's just like there's me and my friends going on an adventure, and we're also doing tricks. I don't know, but there are like certain things, and like in the description of the video, I try and like make it brief. Like I think I literally just defined catharsis and catharsis uh, as being like, oh, like look at like it was like there was like a lot of clips where I was just like literally spent the whole session working on getting that one combo. I would land it, fucking flip off the camera because I was so pissed at that point that I wasn't even happy with it, and then I would leave. And like that was like how it was for a lot of these clips because it was so hard to do a lot of these tricks. And so like it was a super just like cathartic process making this sampler and doing all this stuff. So, yeah, like usually I try and make it speak for itself for the most part. I think I literally wrote it speaks for itself on Untitled because like I didn't need a title for it. It was just like, dude, here it is. So yeah, that's usually how I go about and what I want to portray in the samplers. But like how I make the samplers is I'll usually go into session and I'll have a couple of combos planned. But for the most part, if I try and stick too much to thinking about filming and getting certain tricks, it turns into getting really angry and probably only landing that one combo, if not like throughout the whole session. Because I'll spend the whole session on that combo. And then it's like, wow, I did that for 2 hours. And if I didn't do it, then I have no clips. And it's like, well, that feels like a waste of time. But then here's the thing. It's like not a waste of time because I spent so many sessions eating shit doing that front swing Cali roll, and then it finally worked. So like it'll get there, but like it is definitely a harder thing to just be chasing tricks just like on a notepad versus going into the session and just feeling out certain things that are feeling right and just like kind of going with the flow. Because that way you get a lot more clips. And sometimes, you know, like you'll spontaneously do some fuck shit and you're like, dope. I got some good clips now. But like I'm always thinking about like when I'm doing a combo, especially if I know I want it to be in a sampler, who I'm giving the camera to, how it's gonna be filmed. Because like let's say I'm doing kicks, I want all the kicks to be like towards the camera, and I don't got the longest legs, so I'm pretty short, and I want my camera angle to be low so that my kicks look a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So that is like I usually just shoot low and I shoot close. I have like a 300 millimeter lens. So it's like, you can't really get that close because this shit just, So more often I'll have someone just sit in the corner of the floor and just use the zoom and just kind of get some cool angles. Jordan is really good about getting some really good angles. Like Jordan and Andrew, I think, have been like the best about filming with my camera so far. But especially whenever we get like max screen in a session, like he filmed Son of a Bitch. And that had a fucking, all those angles and all those clips I thought were like really well filmed. So yeah, like it's all about just like going in and then trying to get some cool clips, but at the same time, not letting like my need to get footage ruin the session, because it definitely will.
Yeah, I feel like the best tricking sessions I've had are the ones where I had little expectations to them.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking like because I'm still pretty new at tricking. I want to learn cork swing cork, but I'm just thinking I'm gonna do cork swing cork tonight. But then I just can't do it because I'm thinking too hard about it. I just gotta go with the flow.
Yep. It's like when you set high expectations, like it's not bad to have high expectations, right? But like it's also bad to be stubborn with your expectations when like the reality of the session is that you're not gonna be doing that crazy shit, my guy. You gotta calm down. Like sometimes I'll like literally be writing combos just on my phone, and like the next morning or like the next day at session, I'll be reading them and I'll be like, you're funny, me from yesterday. That shit's not happening right now.
All right,
But
so let's see here. So I've watched plenty of samplers. Like I've seen Kyle Scaly samplers, Rasmus Ott, Michael
yeah,
Guthrie.
yeah,
But there's just something different with your samplers. It's like an experience. Like sampler is not the right word to describe because the sampler usually, when I think of a sampler, it's like a resume for like a stuntman choreography type of
yeah.
thing. But it's like an experience. Like one of my favorite samplers is your concrete one. Oh,
Yes.
it was so good.
Thank you, thank you. I'm like,
Also,
yeah,
uh, also I like your aspect ratio, how you make it cinematic.
yeah. I love doing that aspect ratio because then whenever you have an ultra wide monitor, it's just dope.
Hmm. What were you gonna say? I interrupted you.
Oh, sorry. I just gotta received. All right, tight. Sorry. Um, let's see. What was I saying? That completely threw me off. I just got a text from Mr. Keenan.
We were talking about like before I interrupted you, we were talking about the concrete sampler.
Oh
You're
yeah. What about concrete though?
Oh, I was mentioning the concrete sampler. You're about to mention something, but I interrupted you.
Oh, I completely lost my train of thought about what I was going to say.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
oh yeah, just the aspect ratio. I think we're just talking about the aspect ratio and how like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit just looks nice on an ultra wide monitor.
Um, so where we're gonna go to now? Why do you make parts of your samplers black and white? I can kind of understand it. It has like a aesthetic to it, but what would you say that
Hmm.
adds to your sampler?
So some of them I've made black and white because it's in like maybe different gyms and like I want all of the gyms to be the same color, kind of so some more fitting theme. It's definitely easier to make one like coherent video when it's all like the same color grade. So when it's shot in a bunch of different locations that usually have shitty lighting, also known as every gym ever, it makes it a lot easier to edit the video in black and white than worry about my skin looks yellow as shit in this video. Everything looks green. Maybe I'm like, what's happening? And so like it means I don't have to color grade one, and two, it does also bring this like kind of vintage feel to the video, and that I do like making them in black and white. The next sampling that I'm releasing is in color because I've been kind of abusing the black and white. So, but yeah, it saves time in the color grade, but it's like I also have to now make sure that my whites and blacks are like good and that there's no just like super overexposed or underexposed bits in the video. But it's like I don't have to color grade. That's one thing. And the other thing is yeah, it brings like a certain like vintage aesthetic to the video. And I really like the black and white aesthetic, so there will probably be
Yeah.
many more black and white samples in the future. The next one will be color, and I'll probably do a lot more color too because I want to get better at actually color grading the videos as well.
So, how has your relationship with music changed ever since you created
Mm.
samplers?
So I always loved listening to music. I would always just like be making playlists and like just like finding new songs like all the time. Even before tricking, but then like since I started like making a lot of samplers, especially, I've been listening to so much more music and music from different genres and genres that I originally maybe didn't like and that I just learned to love. Like I remember like when I first started, EDM was the thing, right? I already liked like punk rock a lot, and I was like getting into EDM, like there was like the whole dubstep thing. Then it got more into trap, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, fucking trap music." And then it got back to get like hip hop, like I don't know, for me at least, I like got way more back into hip hop, and then like I got way more back into punk rock, and I originally didn't like metal or screamo at all, and then I learned to love it, and now it's like I fucking play like lo-fi jazz, fucking like the occasional country. I lived in Georgia. I'm like I've fucking had to listen to so much country music that a little bit got to me. Not a lot though. I don't like most country music. Very, but like most genres that and like things that like I didn't originally like, I learned to like and found songs in those genres that I did like. So I think I've got a better appreciation for music through samplers. Just like looking through fucking so much of it, just being like creating playlists like out my ass all the time. So definitely think I listen to a lot more music because I make samplers all the time.
So the samplers I watch from you guys, I get so inspired to the point where like I want to make my own samplers, and like I
Yeah.
when I listen to music, it's so different now. Because half of it I genuinely enjoy the song, but the other half I'm thinking like it has 4 beats to it. I'm thinking gainer switch, twin cork, double cork, and the fourth beat is a drop, and like bang, sync it up. You know what I mean?
That's exactly how I listen to music now. I'm always thinking of like, yo, this would make a fucking banging edit. Like when I hear like it's like going hard and then there's like this crazy switch up and I'm just like, ah, like yeah, dude, I get way too hype. I don't know, I'm about it. I'm always thinking about making edits when I'm listening to music.
Yeah. So let's segment into, let's see. So when I'm watching you trick, you play with a lot of different stances, hyper, semi, mega, but like that's a lot of pressure in one leg. Like, do you do any conditioning maintenance with your body?
So I need to do more conditioning, right? Like the one thing that I used to do a lot of, I mentioned before, was like longboarding, and that helped not really like get rid of an imbalance. It kind of just strengthened one side of my body, and I think gave me a really big right calf and not much for my left. So it's like it strengthened my swing leg a lot. And I definitely have like a hip imbalance. And I like go to a physical therapist and a chiropractor occasionally and get my shit kind of straightened out. And I like have these exercises. But I think for the most part, like everyone should be conditioning because tricking does only kind of work certain parts of your body. Like, and we develop these crazy imbalances. And if we don't address them, then they get worse and worse. And then you're going to have chronic pains. And so, like, we don't want any of that, right? We want to take care of our bodies. And so that's one thing I actually need to get better about. Like, especially with my collarbone, like ever since I broke it, this shoulder has been really tight and really weak. And my shoulder blades get really tight. And so, especially, additionally, like my hips are like kind of out of place because of all the swing throughs that I do. So one leg is a little bit longer, and so I get like SI joint inflammation. My T bands are killing me all the time. I do a lot of front swings now, so my hip flexors, my abductors are just fucking destroyed. So it's like I have all these problems, and I need to be addressing them. And so, like, yes, that's why I have these minor injuries right now, and I can't do a quad cork right now, is because I'm not conditioning as well as I should be. But yeah, I should be, right? Because I'm doing what I think is like some really high level acrobatics and like it takes a big toll on my body. And so I definitely do like at least try and get like the lactic acid out in between sessions. So I'm not training tight as fuck because that's going to make me even more prone to injury. But I need to be conditioning for sure and doing things that I think will help fix my imbalances.
Yeah, right now I'm going through like sciatica on my back, so I can't do any tricking whatsoever. And that
Yeah.
might be due to the fact, like I have some kind of imbalance in my back somewhere. Uh, so do you ever get any really big injuries that stopped you from tricking from a certain period of time?
Mm. So my biggest injuries, I think, were my collarbone being broken, which took me out for several months. I remember I broke my pinky toe, and that was just really annoying more than anything because I felt like I could trick on that foot, but then like if I slammed my pinky toe, it would hurt so bad. And so that was that like kept me out for like a month or two. Just because like I don't know, it was like shitty blood flow to your fucking pinky toe. I swear to God. And so it's like that took a little bit to heal. And then I remember the second that healed, I was on the trampoline doing tricks, and then I landed on a spring after I did like 333 or something, and I just got cut in between my toes and I had to get stitches like right here.
Oh, damn.
Terrible, bro. And so that was like more like nuisances more than anything, because like I could trick with the stitches in and hopefully not pop them out, but like I shouldn't, right? Like collarbone for sure was a big one. I remember I was like 20, like 15. I was at this parkour gym and I did a triple cork off a ledge, and I landed in between the mats, and my foot bent perpendicular to my ankle.
Oh, that sounds painful.
So I believe I tore literally just everything. uh, it swelled up to like a baseball, and I was out for like a couple months. I'm like, that sucked for sure. Fun fact, I mean, this doesn't really keep me from tricking, but like I was like at a birthday party. I was at a Dance Dance Revolution thing. Did like one of those fucking, I don't know, like you're on the bars here and you just swing up and do a backflip. Landed like face like way too low, and my like face like slammed into like this metal corner and split my lip open. And like I just had to get stitches in my fucking lip right here for the dumbest shit. But it's like, yeah. Usually I find my injuries come from like stupid shit. Honestly, like not when I'm training really hard. It's usually like I'm tired and I'm on the trampoline and I like hit a spring. Like I've gotten like 3 spring injuries. I'm not about tramp anymore. But yeah, I think for the most part, like I've avoided like the big ones, like thankfully. I've hyperextended my knee like once or twice, and that did not feel great. If you saw the video of me subluxating my elbow, I literally yeah, dude, that sucked. That hurt so bad, and for like a month, I just couldn't use my arm. And then let's see, there's like one other one that like happened recently that kind of sucked. Oh yeah, my heel. I bruised the living shit out of my heel on a Cheat 7 double turbo, and it was like couldn't walk for a week, couldn't fucking use it for any tricks for like a good month before. And whenever I would hit it, like dude, at session it was so terrible. I was like working around this shitty heel injury, and I would like hit it just a tiny bit and tweak it, and it'll literally be on the ground, like almost like fucking about to cry. The shit hurt so bad. The heel blocked. Now it's perfectly fine, but like, yeah, those were I think my biggest injuries. But they usually only took me out for like a month, 2 months, going into 2.5 months to 3 at most, which has been super great throughout my career because that means I haven't been taken out for a super long period. And that's why I think I've been able to keep up my progress at the rate that I have, is that I haven't gotten like a crazy fucked injury yet, and I pray to God that I fucking don't, and I can keep staying on this path.
Yep, that's how you progress really fast. Stay safe.
Yep.
So, what's your housing situation like in Colorado? And you're in a trigger house right now, right?
I am in a trigger house, and it's dope. It's so dope. So, like I used to live at in a dorm when I first moved out here in Colorado, and I was like, not the move, bro. And then Corona shut down my dorm, so I went and I moved into Torque, and I was living with Alex Kerwood, Jordan Alexander, Dylan James, John Bull, Joe, and like Arena was there most of the time. And so like and then Stephen French moved into, so it was like this house of like 8, and like we were all like chilling together, and it was pretty dope. But it was starting to get really packed, right? And so Jake Linval and his girlfriend Carly, they decided to move into another house that's literally half a mile from the Torque house. We are so close to Torque right now. And it's literally just another house like in the same neighborhood. And it's now me, Jake, Carly, Quentin, and Stephen French. And so we're in this new trigger house that is dope as fuck. There's a trampoline out back, and we have a spring floor in our garage that we need to set up. But the Torque spring floor, I helped Kerwood set up and everything. It was like a very collective effort. And we now have this banging spring floor over the Torque house, though. So trigger houses are tight, and there are 2 of them here in Colorado, half a mile within each other. And if you count the fact that Rudy lives like a mile from us too, like Rudy Meadows, and like you can find Nick Vale and like all those guys are also in Denver, and Charlie, I could just name everyone. Everyone's honestly pretty close. And there are so many of us. So like the Colorado tricking community is so strong right now, which is crazy.
Yeah, I wanna start something of my own in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Hopefully make a little community there as well.
Have a fat gathering.
So what's your
have a fat gathering?
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to try to do that someday.
Tight. Tight.
What's your training schedule like for tricking?
So right now, the big sessions are Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? And actually Saturday occasionally too. But like I usually go like the hardest at like the Tuesday and the Friday session, although occasionally changes from Friday to the Thursday to the Saturday. But like the Tuesday session is the biggest one, right? If you've heard the legends about the Tuesday night cat session in Colorado, they're true. It's fucked. That's where all of the biggest tricks, I think, in Colorado in the past like year have been landed in the Cats gym, because the energy that everyone brings to this floor, and like I don't know, just like the way that it's all set up, where we just have the floor, the speaker, and it's such a good floor too, and we just pack that gym. We just have the most heated sessions, and we just go until so late. It's fucked. And so I think, yeah, that gym for sure is like crazy as shit. But yeah.
Do you know if there's any low key gatherings happening pretty soon in Colorado?
So I'm like, maybe, right? Because I kind of want to have like Colorado Winter Gathering, right? Or we could have Twig, Torque Winter Gathering, and that would be tight. I would just have to talk to Dylan and Kerwood and see what we want to do. And another thing is like, there was just another big like Corona spike or something. So like, I don't know if like that's actually going to be so viable. But it's like, here's the thing: the gyms around here, especially Cats, rob the owners. Like, yeah, unless I'm dead, the gym's open. So I'm like, tight. So it's like there are precautions at his gym too. Like you walk in, you get temperature taken, you got to wear a mask and everything when you walk in. But then like after that, we all see each other. Like these people come to my house and they chill, and we all just hang out after session all the time. That it's like the mask's on for 5 seconds, then it comes right off, and we're all tricking together. So that gym in particular is just always going to be open. So I feel like maybe like session, big gathering / thing going on there. But here's the other thing: it's like we essentially have gatherings all the fucking time, usually on Tuesday night sessions. Just the entire state just mobs to Cat, and we're just like, all right, let's go. So I think if anything, like a semi big gathering that we would try to do if like Corona isn't an issue would be like a Twig, but I feel like it would be an issue. So I don't know. Session, if anything, come through, and it's a never ending gathering. So it's like, yeah.
I looked up tickets for Denver, and it's so freaking cheap.
Dude, it's so cheap. It's so cheap. People come through all the time just because like their connection flights like out to Denver, and then they just stay. And I'm like, really win that way? You know, it's really fucking dope to live here.
Yeah, I gotta stop by sometime and just hang out with the guys over there. It's so inspiring.
Dude, it's a time. It's a time. Feel free.
So, what are some of your favorite gatherings that you've been to, and what are some that you have gone that you want to go to due to Corona?
So, let's see, dude, Jam Gathering was fucking wild. Jam Gathering last year was absolutely off the wall. And then I had the pleasure of being a guest at Onyx Gathering in Hermosillo. And that was like my first time to Mexico, and that was like, dude, one of my favorite fucking like times like ever. I was like so sick. Getting to chill with Saul, all the homies, and literally just like explore, do tricks, throw the fuck down, and get tacos at 3 a.m. Fucking. And then I was also a guest at Cloud Kicks, and I got to go to Vancouver for the first time, and that was fucking banging. Canada is a wonderful, wonderful place, and they have some incredible trickers, and so that was like a really dope time as well. Let's see. Trick Different Quattro was one of my fucking favorite gatherings for sure, because Luis just knows how to throw a crazy gathering. And that was like my second time out to Colorado. The first time out was for DMG 3. Donnie Martin had me out to Colorado, and that was like my first time to a Colorado tricking gathering, and that's what made me want to come and move here. Literally a couple like months later, I like came out for TSG, which was banging, and literally just stayed like an extra 3 weeks and just like got to know everyone, and, like trained all the time, and I was like, dude, I gotta move here. This is way too sick. Gatherings that I would like, also not to mention, Loop Kicks is one of my favorite gatherings of all time. That is like such a crazy event. Vertigo was banging. Euphoria is always an incredible time, especially because it's so close to. It's literally in my hometown. I don't know, 30 minutes maybe, but it's in Maryland, which is just the point. It's really close, and so that was tight. Because I got to see all the like the DMV trickers get together and just all throw the fuck down. Yeah, I'm like definitely some good fucking gatherings. Now for gatherings I'd like to go to, I would love to go to Hooked, right? Hooked would be, oh dude, also fucking Neo, dude. Dude, maybe it just
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
because it didn't happen this year. But like, holy shit, Neo is the best. I don't the best American trick gathering, biggest such a dank American trick gathering. It's literally so. You camp out in tents with an outdoor spring floor with some fucking with dude. Mad props to Neo boys every year for throwing literally like the fucking best event. And rest in peace, Neo 2020. But all right, gatherings I would like to go to. Hooked, right? I was supposed to go to Hooked last year, but my passport fucked me over.
Oh yeah, that was
This
messed
year,
up.
oh, I'd also like to go to like Battle of Japan, because I would love to visit Japan and literally just like go and fucking film the craziest samplers out there because all of those guys are so good. They're all killing it right now. It's crazy. So I would love to make it out to Japan. I would love to go to Holy Land Gathering, and I was supposed to go this year, but Corona. And then there was SPG. I was like supposed to go to SPG, and then that got shut down. And then there was Oslo Movement Gathering. I was supposed to go to that, and that got shut down. So it's like, fuck, man. But yeah, there are a lot of gatherings I would like to go to. I would ideally make it to fucking all the gatherings. Like, go hang out with all the trickers in all the cities and just meet all the fucking dope people. But Corona is making that difficult. But you know, in time, we got time. Maybe.
Yeah, we got plenty. All right. Yeah, I have a ticket for Vertigo Gathering for this year, but then like
But yeah.
they closed it down. So also San Caspio, he was like showing out the Detroit Neo gym. It looks so cool.
Dude, I was really like so stoked for that. I was like, fuck.
Man, it's such a shame.
Rest in peace, Gatherings 2020, bro. I'm like,
yeah.
It'd be like that. It do be like that.
So, who are the tricking athletes that inspire you the most, and you study a lot?
So I've been studying a lot of I always longtime favorite like Michael Guthrie, right? He's a goat, produces all the textbook material, fucking incredible. I've always loved watching Eduardo trick as well, just because he's such an efficient tricker. It looks like he's just not even trying, and that's how I want my tricking to look. I want it to be super efficient, like it's just floating. And you're like, what? So, and also his kicks and all this technique is just super, super proper and super clean. And I would also love to have that be like demonstrated in my tricking. And so I'm always after like textbook cleanliness and efficiency. But then like at the same time, I love slamming power tricks and just fucking around and doing weird bendy shit. So I would love watching like Jordan Edwards trick. I love watching Jordan Alexander trick because they move in ways that I just can't. They just bend in ways that I'm just like, what? I love watching Tiki Woo trick because, dude, he's Tiki Woo. The man fucks. the man just has the craziest tricks right now. I love watching literally everyone on Volatrix. Like, all of them are just like literally some of the most talented people in the world right now. And then Shosei and Zen are just like speechless. They're incredible and they're breaking the limits every day. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's insane. Like, it's all the Japanese guys are like so freaking high level.
Dude, not to mention like some of my favorite American trickers have just moved out to Colorado. Like Mr. Andrew Court, Mr. Chris Cernahouse, fucking crushes tricks. And then James North is fucking ridiculous at tricks, and he moved here. And dude, Mr. Bing Bang, Samuel Lincoln's out here, and I'm just like every session's ridiculous watching that man. He's so fast.
James North moved to Colorado
for like 3 months.
Dang, that's crazy.
Dude, since he's been out here, he like did standing double back, like stomping like full ins all the time. He did like the craziest, easiest J-step triple cork I seen the other day. I was like, he's so good. And dude, Andrew Court just smashes Cali roll combos just like it's nothing. And you're like, Well, that's not okay. No one said you could do that.
So we're gonna segment off to another topic, and this concept that I made up like an asterisk. So essentially, what that means is that like you can't be a jack of all trades. You gotta specialize in something.
Yeah.
So what's your asterisk within the sport of tricking that you would like to see yourself in, both technically speaking and inside the community as well?
So let's see. Like, I love how my samplers are being like kind of appreciated as like pieces of art, and I would love to be kind of seen like as more of an artist than an athlete. But like in the community, I'm just like the homie, and I would love for that image to just still be I'm the homie, and you can come up, chill with me, we do some tricks together. I'm like, I would hate for there to be this hierarchy where someone would be intimidated or scared to talk with me or trick with me because maybe they feel like their tricks are inferior in any way. I'd be like, dude, who fucking cares? Like, tricking doesn't need your skills, it needs your spirit. Fucking Scott Skelton quote. Like, so it's like we're all just nerds. We're all just nerds that love this crazy thing, and it's like that's like how it should be. Like, we're just all trick together, do crazy shit together, hype each other up. I'm gonna be just as hyped on someone's first double cork as someone's first triple cork, because it's like it's tricky. I don't know. So definitely like I don't know. I try and be super low key, super chill, and just try and stay true to what I think would be like good for me and good for the community and good for tricking. I'm like, where would I like to go with my tricking and what I would like to be known for, like with my tricks specifically? I'm like,
Yeah.
So let's see. I do a lot of power tricks, right? But then like lately I feel like I've been trying at least to do a lot more technical tricking and especially just make it more efficient and make all of the tricks flow better. Because like that was the thing I struggled with for the longest time is just flow. Making my combos look like fluent and like there's not crazy pauses and staggered steps in between. And that's something I'm still working on to this day. But I would love for like my tricking to look like effortless and efficient. And I would love for that to be what my tricking is known for. Like just all the crazy kicks and twisting still, but all of it just looked like fucking nothing. And so like Eduardo and Tiki and Michael, I think all do this very well. They're tricking so well and so efficiently that it looks like it's fucking easy as fuck. Like I don't want my tricking to look muscled in any way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's like sloppy artwork, you know? Like I want that shit to be refined.
Like if you got a basketball player and tell him to do a backflip and then tell like a gymnast to do a backflip, like you like can muscle it out, the tech isn't there.
Yeah, so. It's like you don't need all that height to necessarily do that backflip. You have that gas tech that you can just chill.
Yeah. Brendan Morrison is somebody I look up to for like that butter smooth.
Super clean. Yeah. Dude, like I literally like I remember I didn't know he lived in Maryland when I moved back to Maryland and was like getting more into tricks. And then I remember like I came to an alternate route session and I think I met him for like the first time and I was like, bro, you're so good. And he's so good, right? He does the craziest tricks and strings them together in the craziest ways and all of it's so clean. So yeah, mad props.
All right, we're about to wrap up this podcast. So I ask every podcast member this question. It's just a stupid question that doesn't relate to anything. But I'm gonna give you a dumb scenario. So let's say you're walking down to your local Walmart, and you have to be the first person there. However, there happens to be a zombie apocalypse about to occur. So what are the first 5 things you're gonna grab that are essential that you have to grab before anybody else grabs it? And you can assume that there's still gonna be food around because after you get all your 5 stuff, there's plenty of supply of that. So what are the first 5 things you're gonna grab? And everything's gonna be free too.
I'm like, so if I need to survive, I'm like,
You can have
it'd be pretty tight to have like, I don't know, because I'm like, do I want like a tent or some shit, or do I like just go and get shelter somewhere else? Then it's also like, do I get a weapon? Um, I'm like, and do I need to get like, I don't know, like if I'm like camping, do I get like a butane stove, or if I'm not, do I just like use someone else's fucking house? It's like there are variables here.
Yeah.
I'm like, hmm.
Split second, you just gotta grab what you can.
For a second, yo, you know what you should grab? You should just grab like 5 pairs of Adidas Tyros fucking moves. And you should just fucking trick until they get you, dog. I don't know, try and kick them motherfuckers.
Shark and cutter.
With them
That's
classic 2000s tricking pants. At least you'll look vintage. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's my answer.
Okay. Let's see here. How important is tricking to you, and what lessons have you learned from it?
Tricking is like the epicenter of my life, right? And it has been so, like ever since like I really got into it, it's like 6 years ago. And I spent so much time and pour so much time and money into like sessions and traveling out to go to sessions, and go to gatherings and everything. But it's like it's taught me so much like patience and discipline, and it's taught me to be so much more comfortable like with myself and so much more confident in like the things that I do. Taught me really how to just like once you learn how to like spam dubs and tricking, right? Like you can just spam dubs in life. You just fucking you know how to do it. It's just like it taught me how to be like passionate and really passionate about something for the first time. And I think that was really important in helping me just fucking I don't know, just like learn more about myself, fucking I think become a better person, and just like taught me work ethic for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It really changed my life for the better, I'd say.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself ideally in the future with the sport?
I'm like I would hopefully like to see myself as like a professional tricker, right? Be able to make my living through tricking. Although here's the thing, no one's gonna pay you to do a quirk, right? That's not it. So I think the route is gonna be more in like taking like tricking cinematography and taking tricking through like I don't know. I would love to travel the world and make like a huge tricking documentary or tricking just like sampler that is essentially just a professional movie. Kind of similar to what Sean did with Big, but I don't know if I'll do it as much of a documentary, more as just like I don't know. Like see, like I would just like to go out and film this fucking thing. Like travel, go get clips and like meet a lot of trickers. And is this okay? Yeah. Sorry, someone called me. I thought the thing froze. I'm like, I would love to go out like and be essentially a professional tricker and film and create media for tricking, and for trickers. Like I think educational content right now is really big with like KTL, and teaching tricking is something that I really enjoy. So I imagine I'll be scaling like my private lessons and teaching tricking all over the world. That'd be tight. But more than anything, I want to create tricking like media and tricking art, and maybe that will be like a way to create revenue for myself through tricking. Because right now, ain't nobody gonna, even if I did some crazy fucking trick, it's like I could link my Venmo in the caption, be like, hey, did you see my trip? It was dope, right? You want to fucking Venmo me $5? You saw my front swing Cali? Thought that was dope? At Ethan Turner 888. Like, no, that's not a thing, right? So, like, that's not like an efficient and consistent way to make a lot of money. Some people go the route of like affiliateship programs, and then you're kind of depending on how you do it, you're risking essentially looking like you're selling out because you're just fucking an ad now. You're just a walking advertisement for a bunch of different products. And like, that's not what I want, right? So like that, I don't think is really the route. You can put clips behind a paywall and short videos behind a paywall, but in my opinion, unless they're like really providing a lot of value to the community, And I think that like that money is like going back into the tricking community. And like, let's say it's like super professionally filmed and like it is just fucking top notch everything. Then yeah, you can put it behind a paywall. But otherwise, it's like people are going to be discouraged from that because they're going to see it. And they're going to be like, tricking's free. Well, it's not, but like a lot of samplers have always been free. So taking something that the community essentially, well, it's like, here's the thing. You're not taking it for granted if we're making the samplers for the community. So it's like, I make my samplers for me and for the community. And so that's why they're free on YouTube. I put hours into it and I get paid for sessions to do it fucking all the things, but it's free because I'm like, just want to make it, just want people to see it, and that's it, right? It inspires people, and that's that, right? So I'm like, it would be a different story if I rented a fucking $5,000 camera and traveled the world and made a sampler. Then I might be like, hey, you want to pay $1 for this? Just one, maybe two. But yeah, I'm like, professional tricking is the goal, right? Making money through tricking and finding new avenues and trying not to like push down ways that we know that like this doesn't work. Always trying new things, right? And so like I believe there's definitely ways that people can make money through tricking. I'm down to try. Like that's what we're all trying to do, right?
Stay genuine.
But yeah,
to
but
the
also
sport.
staying genuine to like the culture and staying, I think, true to myself, right? And so like I gotta always do what I think is like in like for like the best interest of like myself, tricking, and the community, because like I'm always just trying to like, I don't know, just be like a tricker. Like that's it.
All right, sweet. We have 10 seconds left of the podcast, so oh no, it's gonna shut off. Crap. Wait,
Back in business.
yeah, my bad. There's like a time limit.
There's a time limit on the live thing, right?
Yeah, so all right, I'm gonna make so it was really nice talking to you today. I've learned a lot of things from what you told me. And
course.
thanks for being on, dude. It's
Dude, thank
always
you for
nice.
having me. I'm always
Yeah.
down to talk about tricks and just chill, get to know. Dude, you're a chill ass dude. It's been great to just like shoot the shit with you, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see how far you go.
Come to Colorado, bro. I'm like, that's the thing. Come to Colorado.
I went to Tricktoberfest for a day. And it was really cool.
It's a time. It's a time.
Yeah, so
Get that flight.
Alright.
Let me know. We got you with a fucking tricker house to stay and sessions to come trick at. Always.
thank you. I hit you guys up sometime.
Get it?
So this is the Asterysk podcast number 6. We had Ethan Turner, a tricker, very good tricker. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Thanks for being on, Ethan.
Deuces, thank you so much again.
Yeah, see you later.
See you later, homie.